Ear Radio. I am live with you. I am Latoya, host of In Your Ear Radio. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate y'all. So happy to be here with y'all. Seems like it's been a minute, so I'm glad to be back. You know how it is, y'all. This COVID stuff have all of us, in our moods and our situations, and I am not exempt. Um, but this is my passion. I enjoy doing this, and for several reasons. Because it's kind of like a way for me to be able to vent. And I know for a lot of you, it's a way for you guys to be able to vent too. So today I want to vent, and I brought in, some people that want to, chop it up with me too. So that's what we're going to do today. Make sure I'm not on mute, because the last time I did this, I was on mute. So let's start over. Okay, so I'm good. All right, y'all can hear me. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, there's so much to talk about, you guys. I just don't know where to start sometimes, because the days that we're living in now are so unusual. I think we all can agree that these days and times that we are living in are just, man, where do we start? But today, we're going to dig in. We're definitely going to talk about voter strategy. We're going to talk about that all the way to November 3rd. So everybody has voted. I definitely want to give a shout out to my boy Nas, who released his latest album, King's Disease. Yeah, boy. It's already been noted as the best album of the year. I will admit I haven't had a chance to tune in yet, but trust and believe, right after this show, I will be bobbing. See, when my new people come out like Nas, I make it a ceremony. I get dressed, I have my cocktail and the music playing. There's a whole concert going on in the living room. What I'm talking about? That's just how I roll. So we got a lot to talk about today, and I got a team with me to join in on a conversation. So let's just go ahead and get to it. I got Miss Trish in the building. How you doing, lady?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right,
good. Looking good there. Okay, it's bun time. Hopefully mine
girl, it's bun day, I guess.
Okay. Okay, how you been?
You know what? COVID. I got my COVID drink.
Listen. All in my Embellish Muse mug, okay?
Embellish Muse. Yay. Love them. I'm good. This quarantine thing is something to be reckoned with.
Yes. It takes a toll on your mental. Not to say that I don't consider myself in any way weak or easily persuaded. I have my mind made up about how I'm going to deal with life. But it's kind of tough because this is different. Like, I'd rather be in the house, because when I go out and see people in masks, I get high anxiety immediately.
Really? Oh my God.
It looks so weird to me to see everybody walking around with their face covered. So I got issues with that. And yeah, I see you, Sherry. Hey, all the way from the D. Thank you for joining us. So I'm dealing with that in my own way. And, all the other things that are going on in life, this presidency, this election. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. You know what I mean? So yeah. So I'm glad to know that you're doing good. I know you just posted a new show today too for Pieces of She, didn't you?
I did. I posted. I am doing this series on race relations. I only have 2 more shows. I've talked to a Haitian. I've talked to a Dominican Republic, El Salvador, Mexican, white. Today it was. Did I say Native American? Native American.
Yeah.
So, and then a Yap. Do you know that there's a such thing as a Yapese? Had no idea. I didn't even know
what that is. It sounds racial.
It's an island. No, Yap is an island.
Okay.
It's not Polynesian. It's multi. Oh my God, I'm gonna mess it up. But over there, Polynesian, Hawaii, over that way. And today, I published a Native American, very interesting show. I've never cried on my show.
What? Okay.
I cried on this one, which was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bye, baby.
I know. I really am. A lot of people don't know that about me.
That no, Trish, I wouldn't think that about you, because you wear it well. You know what I mean? But I know a lot of us that had that tough shell on the outside, are very sensitive, real soft on the inside. So I do.
That is me all day.
Take that into consideration as well. I'm glad you with us. Also, one of my other day ones, I got Mr. G to the B in the building as well. Hey.
What's that name?
Thank you for joining me Saturday.
What's
like I
good?
said, you guys, I just, at a whim, I decided I wanted to get on and talk about a few things and vent, and I just wanted to have some of my friends and family with us here today to, give your point of view, because everybody has their point of view. And, when we talk about what we talk about, we all come to some type of understanding, and we get to learn more just by, you know what I'm saying? We just picking each other's brains and having a conversation. So I appreciate that. So how are you getting through this COVID, Mr. G to the B?
Oh no, you know what? I could say I ain't really tripping. I'm blessed, and when I don't mean that in a generic fashion. I just, I really count my blessings. Maybe because I have a different type of conditioning to deal with, situations where you got to go without. You know what I mean? But I just conform and create my own norm. You know what I mean? I create my own norm within what's available and make the best out of whatever opportunities. And we gotta look around and just realize we too blessed to be stressed, because there's some people that sit in them hospital beds right now and they don't have anybody to visit them. They can't do what we doing right now.
You're right.
Like we take a lot.
That's what I love about you.
We take a lot for granted, not even realizing it, not trying to be arrogant, but we just do. We take a lot for granted, and sometimes you just got to step outside yourself and think about those who have less or who not doing as good. So I just try to be thankful. That's what I mean when I say I know I'm blessed. So I'm not stressing about it.
And I do appreciate that about you, because you always have something positive to say. I know even when I'm feeling some type of way, it's something that you say, or you sing a song or something that puts me in a better mood. So I appreciate that, because, during these trying times, and they are, we got to still survive. And sometimes it feels like we can't. And when we have people in our circle that hold us, up when we feel like we're down, that gets us through the next day. So that's so important. And it's very much appreciated. So I appreciate that as well. So, it's just it's a pleasure to be able to have people in your circle that are positive, because, even in the negative times, people need to say negative, what's on their mind, and it might be negative, but we also need to balance it out with positivity, because either way, we still got to get through this, right? And that's what's most important. Also, I wanted to, invite my girl in, my cousin. I was hanging out with her earlier today on her show, Shanta Jackson. And thank you for joining me. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Hey, GB and Pieces of She podcast, Miss Trish. How are you?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Excuse me, something happened to my speaker, so I'm trying to get it
We can hear you.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear everybody fine.
The volume went down. That's why I want to use the phone. I wanted to use a laptop. My bad, dog. That's off the subject.
Oh, no worries. How you holding up, Shanta, during this COVID pandemic?
I'm good. The only thing that really bothers me is that I really can't travel. My last trip was to Detroit in March, and that's not like me. I would be going somewhere, and then the fact that you can't really make plans. I mean, I know there's some countries that we can go to, but just even here, just within in the U.S. But I'm good. I'm locked up. I'm in my office now. This is my lab. And so I've been locked up in my lab since COVID, and I've been fortunate to where I haven't skipped a beat for anything. I was working from home beforehand, so everything is all good with me. I have no complaints. I'm so grateful.
That's good. That's what's up. That's what matters the most. So yeah, and I'm grateful to be with you guys, and everybody's looking well. I took a trip a couple of weeks ago into the D. And so I had to quarantine myself. I just voluntarily quarantined myself for 2 weeks because I'm a hypochondriac.
Wait, so what made you say I need to quarantine? Because I've done it myself, and I just want to know what made you do that.
Well, just knowing that I was going into an area where the statistics were high for people who were infected with COVID, and coming from an area where the statistics was high. We also flew. So I was on a plane contact with a lot of people. Trust and believe, I had on my mask and I had the little shield on the plane, so I was looking real weird. But it's still, you still ingest in the same air as everybody around you. And of course, when you go into, we went, home where my sweetie's home is, we're going to be interacting with family. And sometimes it's hard to social distance when you're around family, as much as we try. So you never know. So between flying, traveling around strangers, being amongst family, yes, I came home like I'm sitting here and I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I'm not sweating up, my throat cool. That whole thing. So, I got a testimony. I feel well. I have not been tested. Any of you guys been tested yet?
I have.
You have?
I had a vertigo episode, and
wow.
I just knew my ass had COVID. I'm like, oh shit, god damn it. Yeah.
It's funny, but it's not funny.
Right, you gotta laugh
because it's really people right now in the hospital, and there's really people that have lost their family members. Like, it's for real. And I actually know someone that I work with. She and her partner were diagnosed, and through contact tracing, it went back to some Target employees.
Oh my god!
And so I was getting on my son. So I don't know what y'all do, but when I come from the store, I do not put anything in my refrigerator that I don't wash. So if it's tea, water, whatever, I wash it. I have alcohol. If it's paper towels, if the cereal boxes, all the ink just went on the cereal box because I done wiped it with alcohol. I don't care. I'm not playing because I don't know what people are doing with their hands and certain things like that. So I wash everything before it goes into my refrigerator, and I wipe it off before it goes into my cabinet. And by her contracting COVID and actually having symptoms, that's what made them get tested, because they actually had symptoms.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, I know it's like a 50-50 chance and I might be fine, and then I do things to boost my immune system, but people can talk about me or whatever. I still social distance. I go on dates outside, and you walk over there, I'm gonna walk over here, and
that's a whole other show. We gotta talk about that. How does this date stuff work during the COVID? Yeah,
you know what though? Excuse me, I want to say this too, just to interject real quick. But first of all, I have not been tested, but I got on the list with 2 different medical facilities, and that was over like 3-4 weeks ago. They told me I'm on a waiting list, even though I made an appointment. It's still a waiting list
to take the test.
To get tested through her job. Yeah.
What kind of mess is that?
Yeah, they put me on a waiting list, and I've been waiting.
Listen, the Rich Hamptons, they doing parties where they getting tested, and 30 minutes later they know they can come into the party. Okay.
Right.
So
wow.
I knew it was gonna.
And it just bothers me because you're telling me this story.
Finances, anyways, though. But so I knew it was gonna break down the finances, but about the dating game, right? So I was listening to a guy on Sway who talking about he just moved from Florida to New York or whatever, and so Heather B asked him, well, how's the dating going for you or whatever, and he said it's similar to like asking, when you first meet someone prior to COVID, before you want to get crazy serious with them, you're like, okay, you show me your papers, I'll show you my papers, and it's all legit. And so now it's like with COVID, like, hey man, you been tested? No, I ain't got tested. And you guys heard, and he said he shot his papers to her, and she didn't shoot him back, and he canceled. So I would have did the same thing.
Listen, I would.
That's what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, I would have did the same thing though.
Because that's a dishonest person. Because my thing is, if you know that you have it or contracted it or been around somebody or whatever, just let people know. It's just common courtesy. And it's not anything to be embarrassed about or anything like that. It's just that I need to be cautious. So,
That's crazy. The same messaging and the topics that we're talking about is the same thing that they said about HIV. Same thing.
I was just thinking that. You put the thought in my head.
Masks or like the new condoms, it's the new sex. That's what
exactly.
COVID, it is like that. It's just like so. And then let's say you don't, like, I haven't been tested.
Me either.
But let's say you choose to be around someone. It's the same as, I don't know if this person has this. I don't know.
A chance,
they're telling me their sexual history, but I really don't know for sure. So it's just I'm playing Russian roulette a little bit.
It is.
Yeah.
It's just like AIDS, but a lot of people think of it like, oh, she or he don't look like they would have it, right? So they may not necessarily protect themselves based off looks. And the same thing is happening with the COVID. People look at certain people like, she looks well, she looks responsible, he looks well, he looks responsible. And they might engage a little bit more than they would be with just other people. So you're right. I think about that all the time. Like, I'm hoping this is just, going to phase into how HIV did, because it was traumatic. You think about our parents, they didn't have to worry about wearing protection. It wasn't a live or die situation having sex. And then it became a live or die situation. That's something that we still live with today, even though there's drugs for HIV that you can live, a long normal life, per se. You don't have to die necessarily. This is what COVID is going to turn into. A highly infectious disease at some point.
What it's going to turn into.
We don't know. Through.
Yeah.
It's something else. But yeah, so the Rich Hamptons, you talk about how people got on a waiting list for tests. The president, he gets his test back every 15 minutes, the whole administration. But you got rich people who are paying doctors to be able to screen their guests and run the test and give them results within 30 minutes so they could be a part of these parties. And another crazy thing is they're even going in with wristbands now. So, when they go into these parties, and I think about that too, because I'm kind of petty. Like, if somebody hug me or they go hug somebody else, they don't hug me, like that means you think they COVID free. You think so at these little rich people parties, they got little bands that say you can hug or they cool with you engaging with them in certain ways.
Really? Wow.
To let people know how to approach them. So
I would feel comfortable at that party. I would feel comfortable. I mean, if they have the resources. So this is how it all boils down, and this is what's happening in the United States of America and in the world. It's either you're a have or you're a have not, and that's unfortunate. There's people, and so I was watching a video. Actress Sharon Stone, she was talking about her family members that passed from COVID and that currently have COVID, and how the nurses can't get tested, and the inadequate supplies, that everything that's happening in Montana. And it's just crazy. And so you're describing, I mean, we're having fun and joking about it, but it's just crazy where you have some people where there's actually, so it's not a supply issue, it's a distribution issue. It's an access issue. It's a, it's just disparities. Yeah.
Her sister was struggling with getting a test because what they wanted to know is, do you have symptoms? And that's across the board. So a lot of people that are doing the testing, they have to lie and say they have symptoms. They just want to take a test. So I think that's kind of strange too. But I do want to give a shout out to Stacey Curry, who's giving a shout out to G to the B. Thank you for watching. And also Rita, I see you. Thank you for watching as well. We got to dig into this voting. Another thing I want to talk about too, we got a lot to talk about, but we're also going to talk about Meg Thee Stallion and the Tory Lanez situation. And also I want to talk about Tim Norman, if you guys don't know about him, who, used to be on a reality TV show, Sweetie Pie. But I definitely always want to hit on voting because we're getting down to the final hour, and this is so important. And I just need people to stay focused. Don't forget, we have a strategy, and just be focused. Just to piggyback on the topic when I tie it into Meg Thee Stallion, when we talk about Kamala Harris right now, there's a lot of negativity going on about her sexual orientation, her past as a prosecutor, just anything negative in this time. And a lot of it is coming from Black men. And it bothers me, not so much that they're talking about something that may be true, but it bothers me mainly because they're talking about it now when we know most of us have the same interest, and that is to get Trump out of office. Like, why would you be cutting off your nose to spite your face? I don't understand that. But it even bothers me more when I think deeper into it is how we're so quick to, dump salt on our sisters, and try to pick them apart and say they're not sisters because of their skin tone or because of where their parents were born or because of their lifestyle, because of who they married to. And I definitely want to dig into this conversation because I want to ask you guys the question just straight up. Do you think, that, the Black man supports the Black woman the way that he should? You guys let me know what you think about that.
I think that there are a lot of Black men that do, and there are a lot of Black men that don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like a one size fits all, and I do think that it depends on how that Black man was raised, and who raised him, because it's some no, I'm serious. It's some Black women who just should not have been able to raise that little boy. I'm serious, because now his idea of what a Black woman is all messed up, and so he feels a way. I'm just saying some of them feel a way about Black women, and they don't like them because of how they grew up, and their mother and their aunt and all the women in their family and how they were, and so they base their opinion off of that.
Yeah, that's true. I think. Go ahead, Shanta. Did you want to say something?
No, I was going to say, I don't know those men. Like, I haven't had a conversation or have seen any man bash Kamala Harris. I'm hearing about it, like, through conversations like this, but I guess it's all about your experience and kind of like who you associate with. I'm not associating with any man that's going to bash Black women. And and all I have to say is, like, self-hate is real.
Yeah. I had to mute a few people because, I do respect their opinions on some things, but when it comes to this, it was very frustrating to see them, just pour that information out onto social media, talking about this woman, and is she Black enough? Oh, she, talking, just talking down about her, and just, oh, she was a prosecutor, she locked people up. Prosecutors lock people up.
What did you read? This is my problem.
That's their job.
It's hearsay. But a lot of things that people say, they're not even referencing. What are you referencing? Some social media post. So basically, I can say anything, and as long as it sounds good, you're not going to cross-reference. You're not going to research the context or the history about anything. So I don't even like to engage in those conversations. Next, all the Black men that I know are supportive, that I associate with, and that I follow, and that I engage with. And I'm not saying that they're not supportive people out there, but I don't even feed it in my brain.
Oh, they out there, and they are treacherous, and they are dangerous, and we got to pay attention to them, because they're the ones who are in the ears of the people who may have voter apathy or not really interested in voting, or just finding any reason, just like we did when Hillary was running against Trump. We found a lot of negative things to say about her, and which, for me, I didn't like everything that Hillary did, but Hillary did a lot of positive things too. And I didn't care. The point was, I did not want Trump in office, so Hillary had my vote. And that's the same mind state I have here with the Biden and Kamala Harris, situation. But when you have people like Kanye West, you have people like, Diddy, you have people like Charlemagne that are, saying certain things, or not even talking negative about her, but just the whole campaign when they're saying, we're holding our vote hostage, or you need to do this, that, and the third in order for us to vote for you. It really frustrates me, because we need all hands on deck. And so even though we can choose to ignore them, because like I said, I do mute these people because I don't like that energy, because it really does upset me to see Black men talk about Black women in that way, or even those. And I'm knowing a lot of these Black men are the ones that don't vote, aren't really civically engaged, but want to, talk. They talk they mess. And that's what bothers me. So I don't pay attention to that, but I do feel the need to counter, because I know a lot of people, they have a huge following, and a lot of people pay attention to them. So I know how important it is. I know Rita is saying that this is so true. They would prefer to risk their life and democracy on a rumor. Our life is at risk. There is no strategy or plan on how to get rid of. And it's true. We've lost how many hundreds of thousands of people because of the president that we have in office? Y'all need to look at this and be serious that, think about it. If we had someone else as president in office, do you think we would have lost as many lives as we lost in the United States? We've had other viruses try to creep in on us, and we've had strategies in place that made it very minimal. Yes, we did lose lives to other, viruses, Ebola, to name one, but we had things in place. And even the Obama administration had things in place for the COVID that were just dismissed, just totally dismissed. And that's bothersome to me. This is a pandemic and we need to focus on getting somebody in office to get us out of the situation that we're in, right? Over 32,000 Black people have died. We are, 13% of the population, but we are, in disproportionate numbers dying from this. Like, that should be a red flag to people that we need to get this man out of office. And we can't get him out of office by voting third party right now, you guys. We can't get him out of office by penciling Kanye West or Bernie Sanders or Donald Duck in. The only way to ensure that this man gets into office is to vote for Biden and Harris. Okay, if you don't vote, it's just like giving your vote to Trump. And here's the thing, remember, Hillary won the popular vote by over 3 million votes. But because states like Michigan didn't vote, the popular vote in Michigan wasn't for Hillary, the Electoral College went with their constituents and said, okay, most of the people here in this state, in Michigan, voted for Trump. So we're going to give our so many odd numbers for Trump. And that's how it works state by state. It's unfortunate, but it's what it is. Shout out to my cousin Ty, rest in peace, who did propose a bill to get rid of the Electoral College here in Nevada. Unfortunately, Governor Sisolak did not support it. And his argument was that it took points away from us. So with the Electoral College, you need so many points, right? Like in Nevada, let's just say we have 20 points and another state, California, has 2 points. And these are very random and untrue numbers. But when we're voting on who we want as president, our votes count as numbers. So if we pull out, we say we don't want to be a part of the Electoral College, that's fine, as long as we still have enough votes countrywide to still vote that person in. So all that would have done to us is take us out of the Electoral College game and not have a voice. So I understand at this point why the governor didn't really support it. If more states would have been on board, maybe he would have considered it. But having that Electoral College is something we need to keep in mind, that statewide, we have to come out and vote, because even if the majority of people go out and vote for Biden, popular votes, they still look at the state, then they start drilling in, well, how many people voted for Trump versus Biden in this state? And then the Electoral College makes their decision on how many points they're going to give towards whoever they want for president. So that's something we got to think about, you guys. And I just can't reiterate that enough. So your vote matters. We need your vote. Please vote for Biden if you don't want Trump in office. That's all I can really say. Third party is not going to get it. A protest vote is not what we need right now. November 4th, let's go in. Let's go in and start, saying what we need to say in order to hold, these people, these presidents and vice presidents accountable, so I'm with that. I support that 100%. Off that note, Meg Thee Stallion. I know you guys probably.
We're gonna make a sharp left turn.
Yeah. Do y'all have something y'all want to add to that? I'm sorry, because I get on my soapbox.
I wanted to jump in there about how Black men don't support sisters. Well, not enough Black men support sisters. And I have to say, I agree with Trish. Is how they was raised. You know what I mean? It matters their influence, who influenced them growing up, even down to the mother. Being a woman, being a Black woman, and and what man did they look up to growing up? Which man did he pattern himself after? And I agree with Shanta too. It is self-hate, and it's a disability. And I've always, unfortunately, I've had my share of experiences being around cats who they just don't have no respect for sisters at all, And I used to look at them and me growing up around in a whole village of none but strong sisters, I couldn't relate to that. So I used to be like, y'all just insecure. For a brother to be intimidated by a sister that's doing her thing and she's in support of him, but he don't support her the same. Right. He looks at her as competition, and so he disguises his self-hate and his insecurity behind, well, I'm just being competitive. You can't never let a woman get ahead of you. And it's like, what? You don't never let a woman know more than she needs to know. Stuff like that. And I used to be like, where you learn that? Like T.K. Kirkland say, man, who raised you? Like,
yeah.
You gotta detox and reprogram yourself, because you've been hurt a long time ago and you're still carrying it and you're teaching it to other people. So I
Mm-hmm.
would like to say that definitely it's not enough black men that support black women, in whatever field they in. Even if she work at McDonald's, man, if she's doing something positive and she trying, you got to support that,
Mm-hmm.
because she could be doing something else. But it's sad. It's sad, and like you said, they come out of nowhere. And especially this is the end of the race. It's like this one we really needed to count right now. Now all of a sudden everybody talking about, well, I'm withholding this, and I'm trying to see what I'm gonna just fold my hands, or I'm not gonna fold. I'm not gonna do this. And then at the same time, it's like, okay, where were you when the discussion was coming up when they were choosing nominees or when people were running? How come you didn't pull
Right.
the people aside way back then and say, hey, this is what we want. You want us to be specific? This is what me and my people are asking for, from Chicago, from Miami to New York, Vegas, LA, Oakland. Collectively, this is what we want. This is what we asking for. Can you do that? Oh, you can't? Okay, we're moving to the next candidate.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Don't wait till the
Yeah.
end of the race and then say, okay, we're withholding, because no, it's too serious right now. So I agree with you too, Toya. Another thing I want to say, Toya, you especially, Trish, Shanta, I really respect the fact that y'all standing up, as sisters, and y'all are supportive. Y'all put the information out there, you're professional, and you carry yourselves with dignity. You know what I mean? And y'all handling y'all business, and I really salute y'all for real. I
Thank
salute
you.
Thank
y'all.
you.
Y'all doing y'all thing, and that takes a lot of courage to do what y'all doing. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I respect that.
That's what's up.
Well,
We
thank you.
appreciate that. And also shout out to Albert, who's watching on Facebook Live, who agrees. He says, yes, they're out there. Pay attention. Black folks are talking bad about Kamala.
I'm pissed off that these white folks is calling her a hoe. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm sorry. I be cussing. Shit.
No, I
I'm
didn't know they
sorry.
said
I'm
that.
sorry.
Where
I
my
didn't know they
sweater
said
at?
that, because I don't be studying them, so I don't really pay attention to
Yeah,
the headlines.
yeah. And
Like,
Listen,
it
they're
doesn't
calling her a
matter
hoe. Like, where does that come from?
because they can, and they disrespectful,
That's crazy.
because they
but
hate
yeah,
themselves and they're really confused and and they're in denial and they have mental illnesses. And think about it. If you knew if your ancestors, I mean, people have come from certain families that may have like a family history of violence or kind of doing certain things, but just like generally, like for generations, like come on, like your ancestors like enslaved people and sodomized people and were cannibals, and hung people from trees. And no, I'm serious. And then,
I'm
but
listening.
but then, like the for generations, the women in your family were like stood by and allowed it to happen. And then
Right.
but they were raised by the same people that they destroyed. So it's like, I love this person, but I hate this
Right.
person. And if I need help, or if I fall and I hurt, I don't call mom. I call the house, the slave. And like, I was breastfed and the other baby was on this breast. Like, y'all got some issues kind of and that's a lot of stuff to kind of deal with. And so now let's fast forward to Jim Crow and segregation. You thought that your mother loved you unconditionally. And then one day you had a black friend. And then that's the day you discovered that your mother will disown you if you ever bring that person around again.
Yeah.
So y'all kind of, y'all got some issues.
Damn. Okay. Well, shit.
You gotta sip slow to that. You gotta sip slow.
Yeah, look. Wait a minute.
Listen,
I mean, that's child abuse, neglect. I mean, there's a lot of issues. And then we're wondering why people sitting at home by themselves in nursing homes.
Right.
What y'all been going through generationally, and the abuse. Look at that. Look at the advertisements that were occurring, and how white men have treated their women. And if they treated us like this, imagine how they treat people, these men in power, right? And they grow up with this mindset and this mentality. If they treat strangers a certain way, imagine how they treat the people in their home.
Yeah.
Right? And how you grew up, and this is a part of your culture and your society. That's kind of hard to deal with. That's why Black people don't have any place, and stop telling white people how to act and how not to be racist. That's something that they have to deal with themselves.
Yeah, I agree with that, definitely.
Yeah.
Listen,
That's real.
I'm gonna bring on also one of my day one, Jimmy. He wants to chime in on the conversation, so I'm gonna bring him in too.
I need to get my charger. Hold on, sorry.
Okay. All right, I'll bring you out. All right, sir. How you doing over there?
All money in.
Oh, you the one with the sound effect. We can't hear you.
We can't hear you, bro.
That's why I was laughing, because I knew this was about to happen.
Okay. Can y'all hear me now?
Okay, I can hear you. Good.
Okay, I had the other speaker on. You know,
all money in.
So I had that speaker on.
Oh, well, yeah, whatever. We saw that, whatever.
Y'all see my partner in the Caribbean behind me? I got that big.
See how you slid that 49ers in there?
Uh-huh.
No, I agree with everything everybody's saying. And you know me, I'm like Paul Mooney. I run free. I don't run scared. So I'm gonna say what I got to say.
I hear you.
I can't remember our sister name right here. I know everybody else's name.
Shanta.
Shanta. I thought it was Shanta. You said something here a minute ago where I guess you were saying how young men are raised and a woman let them get away with it. Now remember when all this started with Hillary, we said men make more money, their men have messed it up for so long. But I've always remembered the women that raised these men and the women that stand behind these men, did they let them get away with this back then? And like Dr. Valentine's book, The Wound and Womb, I really wish Black women should stop jumping on white women's lived stuff and continue to back the Black culture. And not just a man or a woman, the Black culture. Now, when we go to Kamala, I like saying Kamala because it sounds so African.
Kamala. Say Kamala.
I'm saying Kamala.
Her name is Kamala.
But anyway, that track record she had. Now, if your job had you demeaning people, do you stay with that job or do you stand for something and leave it? Now, I understand she stayed with it. That's cool. She did her job. If her job consisted her convicting more people of color and letting more white people go, okay, cool. I'm cool with it. But my thing is this: we need to go all in and vote for Biden-Harris 2020. She got my vote. He got my vote.
That's what's
so I
up.
get that dude out the White House out. But see, my problem is now after the vote, we gonna see.
Yeah, we gonna see.
Talking about, well, everybody keying in on her marriage to a white man. Well, this is my question. Can you really, if you take on the persona to protect all lives, number one being Black lives, because they're the ones that's dying and being affected more today. If you take a stand finally and make the playing field even, can you go home to your white man and it's cool at the house before he says, well, wait a minute, you the vice president of the United States. You're supposed to cover everybody, not just Black people. Will that discussion come up? So that's my thing. I'm concerned with that. Or will she revert to her old ways as being a DA in California? Because I'm not talking about her being this, being that. I'm looking at the political aspect. Now, another thing too with President Barack Obama, our own Black people had a problem voting again at the midterm elections. Once we see a Black face on that main ballot this year in 2020, we'll get all the votes, we'll get all the Democrats in the House and the Senate, we'll get the presidency, Lord willing, get this victory. But then my problem is 2 years from now, because y'all remember the Tea Party? They threw that Tea Party stuff out and you ain't even heard them no more. But they were a part of the Republican. They put a monkey wrench out there to get, I'm gonna vote for the Tea Party. You know, it's not Long Island iced tea. This is something they trying to get you to stop voting for Democrat. Then President Obama had to deal with a Congress that was all Republican, the Senate and the House 2 years ago.
Right, yeah.
So there was more stuff done under the background, and then they always say, oh, look, we gave you a Black president. Now look what happened. Because he had an all-white Congress. Now notice there's a lot more Black people in Congress now, in the House and in the Senate. Can we keep that trend going to support Biden and Kamala?
Yeah, we need more.
Yeah.
We got to put 4 seats in the Senate in order to have the support. You think about the fact that if we had those 4 representatives in the Senate, we may have been able to get rid of this president before November 3rd.
Yeah, and he didn't have, it wasn't an all white Congress. It was still
it's based on Republican and Democrat.
Yeah.
But they played the white card. Like Paul Mooney said, that skin is Black, but that mind is white, and you're a graham cracker to me. So a lot of people didn't stay standing and say, hey, let's protect the non-white cultures of color. We wasn't talking about changing Washington Redskins' name back then, but we talking about it now.
It's just what's on the national platform, and it's just what the media channels decide that's going to be popular.
But see, if we had an underlying background of more of what helps us in our community, in those seats in the Senate and in the House, and like Ms. Toya said, we got to go back and look at the state too, because that electoral college has been messing us up because we don't vote for the right people to be in our state and our, you know, our Senate seats to do that electoral college vote.
It's about strategy.
We can get the popular vote and the electoral, but see,
but it's about strategy. The electoral vote is based on the popular vote statewide. So that's why it's about strategy, getting people out to vote. Because even when the electoral college has an option, they're going to, you know, history teaches us that they support their constituents in that state. So again, I use Michigan as an example because that was one of the states where the popular vote went to Trump. And that's because people did not go out to vote. So that's very important. And, you know, again, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about voter strategy. We're talking about how, you know, the Black woman to me is just easily disrespected in the public eye. And for this woman who is running for vice president, she is, you know, taking a lot of heat from people who you would think are supportive of her being in that seat because we're trying to get Trump out of office. And I wanted to, you know, do my little hard left to tie in Meg Thee Stallion because I also want to talk about is, you know, the Black woman respected? What reading, you know, if you guys don't know who Meg Thee Stallion is, she's a rapper. I will admit that I don't know many of her songs, but I think it's a hot girl trying to help me out.
Hot girl summer.
But I'm a hot girl.
Yeah.
Then I got she has the WAP with Cardi B.
Yeah, I heard about the WAP.
I heard the song one time. I don't remember the lyrics.
Yeah. So I'm looking back in July, Tory Lanez and her and two other people were in a vehicle after leaving a party at the Jenner's house, the Kardashian Jenner house. And she was shot in both feet, or fragments were in her feet. And a lot of people, including a lot of Black men and Black women, were going in on her saying she was faking it and, you know, just saying a lot of negative things and making jokes about it and laughing about it. So finally she broke down and came out and said, hey, look, I was really shot. I'm traumatized. Like y'all playing, but this really happened to me. And so then people started to soften up, but you still have the jokes. And then come around again, you have not Tory Lanez himself, but according to Meg Thee Stallion, his team speaking out about her situation and where she thought he should be quiet because all along she never said who shot her. She said she was a victim of a criminal assault, right? But she never said who. So a couple of days ago, she came forward and said who. And she said that she was protecting him because she knew, for one, she was protecting all four of them because she didn't want the police to know there was a weapon in the car. But she felt like that could have, you know, been their death sentence. You know how police officers are when it comes to Black men and women. You know, we don't get the privileges that, you know, the white men and women get. So she never said anything, for one, because she did not want to get shot and killed, you know, on that street. And then secondly, she protected him because she knew the criminal charges he would face and even be deported after the fact. And I see that a lot where a lot of things when it comes to abuse and just certain things that happen when we talk about rape or certain things, women may not speak out because they don't want this person to be affected in a certain type of way. And so I'm saying, you know, with a Black woman being the most, you know, just disrespected person in America, you know, we're the most unprotected person in America. Even though we are on the front lines when it comes to voting, when it comes to supporting the interests of our people, which includes Black men and our children, why are we the ones having to protect the Black man? And do you think that was her place to do that?
Yes. It's two sides to this. You got what you guys do, which I respect all of y'all. Let me go through that. I grew up with a lot of women. I was lucky to have a father and a mother in the household. So I seen my dad being cool. Because my mother, I used to look at him, I said, man, I don't even, if you divorce her and leave, we'll just come visit you and my sister. But my mom was hardcore. But he was so patient That's what helps me. I'm not quick to pull the trigger to abuse nobody, to hit nobody, to hit no woman. Because if I got to beat you, I don't need you. Okay. And like I said, I respect y'all, but you got to look at two sides of this. There's the gangster aspect, and there is the, like you said, the strong woman protecting her black man. Now you look at a pimp. Why was he able to control all these women? You think about it. He had a stable, which they call, no, listen. And I didn't realize until I started reading Iceberg Slim and Donald Goin novels, and I had to go look at some other stuff. They knew that the black man would be the first to be killed out of all this, because that's what the system of racism, white supremacy want to do. They want to eliminate the black man, period, because it's about genetic annihilation. Okay, and if Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, God bless her soul, she mentioned it. One black man can make the whole planet black, if you get what I'm saying.
I hear you.
And the way Megan did that, she didn't say nothing at first, but his team and some other people kept saying stuff, and people get tired. She probably would have stayed silent forever. She didn't just come out and do that just to do it. She let a month go by. She didn't say nothing at the scene. That's straight gangster. That's where I grew up in. We didn't say nothing. What? Ain't nobody saying nothing. Ain't nobody snitching. But she got tired. You know, and like you said, if I'm gonna protect you, why is your team coming at me saying stuff and I still haven't said anything? I didn't give no name. I just was criminally assaulted.
So what do you think?
Car with him. It could have been somebody.
I hear you.
Car. You know,
I hear you.
But she got fed up and she tired. And I don't blame her for coming out and saying it, because she held back for the longest. This probably could have went on for another year and she hadn't said nothing. But they keep poking at her, pressing at her, you know. Like,
and I'm just gonna cut in because I do hear you. Yeah, Jimmy, that is a good point that she got tired. But I want to ask you, Trish, do you think that's her job to protect him, to protect the black man, period, or to protect him after as she was a victim?
I'm gonna just say this: if somebody shoots me with a gun, they're showing me that they don't give a fuck about me, right? So I understand what she did, and I understand why she did it. I do. Because of what's going on in the world, police brutality and things like that. But once I got to that precinct and I am safe, I would have told them at that precinct. There's no way in the world. I might not have said anything at that time due to the whole reason why she didn't say anything. But at that precinct, I'm telling exactly what happened, because you don't give a fuck about me. And all I'm saying is there is a petition to get him deported back to Canada, because if you come here and you shoot motherfuckers just for no reason, maybe you need to probably go back to your country. I said it.
Yeah. I think the question is still out there, Shanta. I don't know if you want to chime in on this subject matter.
Yeah, she's a victim, and you have to think about the pressure on her. So for her immediate safety, she probably at the time of being pulled over didn't say anything because it's just fight or flight. However, behind the scenes, like, she's telling the public what happened. Trust me, she's already in private, whatever charges and whoever shot the gun or whatever is already established. But I think that you have to think about why women just in general. So he is a perpetrator. He was an abuser in this situation. Like, you really had a gun, and I don't know if you were shooting at the ground or what you were saying, you know, but naturally, a lot of women don't say things because you're under pressure because of what people might think. They probably were just having a good time about an hour ago. So you don't, or maybe she could have been embarrassed, or just like just the no snitch culture. Like, no matter what someone does to you, no matter how abused you are, and she's in the hip hop culture as well, right? And so she's thinking about her fans and different things like that. So that's probably why she didn't say anything, at first, and felt like she had to protect him. Women do it all the time. They do it with victims of domestic violence, and that's what I see this situation as. They do it all the time. And so
that's my question. Why?
And so I'm not knocking her, and anybody that has the mindset that she's snitching and she shouldn't have said anything. They're just small-minded. Probably some, young, not, just kind of like ignorant anyway, like a messed up mentality. But your question is, do Black women protect Black men? I don't think that particular question is necessarily fair or to relate to this one incident with Megan Thee Stallion. I think for me, when you posed that question, I was just thinking kind of like generic, kind of like overall. And and I would just say, yes, we do. We always, like, the black women are very, very faithful to Black men.
Yeah, I've seen it, honestly, on a personal level. Growing up when I was younger, okay, I've seen the domestic violence, and I've seen a Black man hit a Black woman, and then when the police were called, she said, no, he didn't do anything. I've seen it with my own eyes as a child. So it happens, probably because she doesn't want him to get killed. But at this point, my thing is, if you put your hands on me or shoot me or do whatever you don't care about me. And so you probably need to go to jail so you can figure out what you want to do in your life.
And I think that, like I said, with me, I never seen my father do that.
Yeah.
So I can't do it today. Like I said, if it gets so heated, I'll disappear on you. You'll never see me.
But it's done though. It don't not happen.
But us brothers that don't do it, we don't get enough credit for it. I carry the sins of other men. I mean, it's assumed that I'm gonna do something.
I don't think so.
I'm wearing, the stuff I'm wearing. But like I said, it happens. We're following the slave master, the way he used to do things. That's why generationally it's still going down the pipeline. Like,
and you know what, Jimmy, I do think that with this, I think it does tie back into history to where even, back in the day, we didn't go out and tell on our men because, first of all, who are we going to send them to? Right into the lion's den? Regardless of, like you said, Trish, they're showing that they don't care about us by the actions that they take towards us. But what is it in us that makes us still want to protect them? Is it rooted back in just in history and knowing that even though they may be lost and not doing the right thing by you, that you still don't want to send them into a place where there is no love, within that system? So that was a question. So broadly, I tied this in talking about Meg Thee Stallion. If you guys aren't familiar with Jaguar Wright, who's an artist, writer, singer, who wrote tight with the Roots, she went in talking about just how people, she started going off about all the things that seemed like they were protected. She were protected when she started talking about Common and members of the Roots. She even talked about Jill Scott and just saying the misogyny that went on and certain type of treatments that were done against women, and nobody ever mentioned this up until her. And again, that sparked the thought again of, do women, Black women, protect our men? Is that just in our nature? And why is that in our nature if that's the case? I can't think of a scenario where I would not want, I would say that if I didn't want the police involved in a situation, it's because I was going to handle it in my own way. Not necessarily because I didn't want him to be, held accountable for his actions.
That part.
But because I had other ways of handling the situation, and that's what that came down to. I don't know, GB, did you want to chime in on the conversation? Do you want to add to it?
For me?
GB?
You may be muted.
Yeah. Take yourself off mute. We can't hear you. But and that's where I'm going with that. Like, and then the flip side of it,
sometimes we love some of them more than they love themselves.
Yeah. And then I feel like some. And then on the flip side, do they love us the same? Are we getting the same respect back from them? Is it reciprocated?
So by half of them. I mean, we just discussed half of these motherfuckers. Damn, half of them wasn't raised right. Shit.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Who taught them? Because if you don't talk better, you won't know better.
Nobody taught them better. Nobody
didn't
teach.
Because you grown, you should know. Because even in the NFL and these sports guys, when you give them money, they don't know how to act because they were never taught to manage money. And we've been on these white coaches and white college administration. Why don't you teach a finance class? So when these guys,
I don't think nobody needs to teach me not to shoot somebody in the foot. I don't think I need to be taught not to shoot people in the foot.
Because if your parents, nobody told you, you learn the order of the streets. See, y'all remember Megan and all them is in they singing street stuff. So that was another argument that came up. Well, she's talking hardcore like NWA. What do you expect? You're around crowd. Now she did mention in an interview she did before when she was crying. She said, I positioned myself with the wrong people who I thought was my friends.
Yeah.
Her eyes was open with her getting shot.
That's just like saying somebody with a mini skirt it deserves to get assaulted. I don't like that.
Trish, you're missing the whole point. Nobody's
maybe I am. Let me understand.
And it's people that think like that, Trish. They really do. They think if you dress suggestively, that you deserve the attention that you get, be it somebody being physical or just verbal. It's really something.
She the one said it. She the one said it. No man said that. She said I may have messed up and put myself in a position of bad people. Now she gonna still.
That doesn't mean because she raps about the stuff she raps about. That just means she put herself in.
But you still in the culture. You still in the culture. It don't matter. And a lot of people take on the persona what they rap and keep that hardcoreness. Because Dr. Dre fell into that. Remember years ago with that D Barnes incident. That he had to get checked,
I don't even know what you're.
But she started talking about I haven't listened to all of her songs, but the songs that I've heard, it's just like more so like I'm fine, I got a big booty and I get money from dudes and give me your money, give me,
Yeah.
I haven't heard like I'm a G.
Or I'm gonna shoot somebody.
Yeah, I haven't heard that, but I could be mistaken.
You're not.
Too, she's grown from this experience, and she will do better to put herself in a position around better people. You can do the same music.
This is not her fault. None of this shit is her fault. Fuck all that.
But she can't.
That's what it sounds like you saying to me. I'm just saying.
No, she said it. Go Google it up. She said it. I don't say.
Well, if she said it, she's taking blame, and it's not her fault.
You know what I'm saying? No, I'm talking about.
Right, it's not her fault.
He came out and said he shot her.
Just to bring it back, basically.
She was holding back on that.
But she was holding back because she wanted to protect him.
From no woman other than my mother and my sister right now. And I put that on my daughter.
What did you say?
Protected me. Because I haven't been protected by no woman other than my mother and my sister. So I'm going to put that on the table. I've had to fight and claw and get away from situations so I wouldn't, as a black man, be thrown in jail. Okay? I was cuffed for an argument. Hadn't touched no woman. But I got cuffed on an argument. And she was belligerent in front of the cop. And he did nothing to this black woman, but I got cuffed. What does that say? Like I said, my father showed great patience. He didn't touch a woman. He didn't put his hands on my mother. So I never saw that. So I'm never going to reflect that. But like I said, unless these young men are put in a position around good men to learn better, to know better, how do you expect them to get grown and know better when they've been raised around a woman, which the system of racism, white supremacy is trying to keep the black man out of the family?
Yeah.
So he don't see that other side.
Well, he need to go back to Canada and figure it out.
Okay, GB, did you want to chime in on the conversation? I know is your mic back up now?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
yep.
Now.
Yeah, my phone died. Yeah, I was having issues, but I agree with Brother Jimmy saying. I didn't hear everything what y'all talking about, but I kind of could put it all together. And I see it from both. Aspects too, in a way. First of all, I'll just say this. First of all, I don't see any situation. I don't see me being in any situation, past, present, or future, that requires me to pull a pistol on a woman and shoot her. But it ain't no but to it. It's just I don't see that. But because me, I leaves like a tree. I just get out the way. I don't got time for that.
Yes.
But he I don't get it. Maybe he felt like she was gonna put hands on him. Whatever. I don't know. She probably would have put hands on him.
5'1".
Right. I'm just saying she probably would have put hands on him. So, he probably brought the thing for whoever was going to be at the party, but he had to use it on his date. That's crazy to me, though. But I don't know. I don't know the situation. It's just, and I don't want to make light of it because it's serious, and it's a serious issue. It is a serious issue. I will say that I think, in my opinion, people hold you more accountable for the message that you put out, that energy that you put out, in a way, they hold you more accountable for being true to that type of culture. You know, to go along the lines of what Brother Jimmy's saying, people do hold you accountable along those lines. Like, oh, you're supposed to be true to over here because you're talking about the club, you're talking about, robbing tricks or whatever that she may be talking about, whatever her content is. But because it's not all the way, radio friendly, like commercial or something suitable for little girls to sing and dance to, they look at it like, oh, you part of the street, you part of, not hip hop, is strip hop now, so they look at that like a whole nother culture, and they tie it into the streets and to the trap and stuff like that. So that's our fault. People that are of the culture, that's our fault for taking people for their word. They just entertainers, you know what I mean? You can't hold them at the standard, because at the end of the day, they're still citizens. They're still,
we don't hold
they're human beings. Yeah, so they're still human beings. Now, in my opinion too, but for the males, the females, I can't really speak to that. But for the males, I was having this conversation earlier. It's like, okay, you made it. If that's where you're really from, that's where you're really from. But why you still got to push that line like that? You know what I mean? Okay, we all know you come from a Crip neighborhood. That's cool. We all know you come from a Blood neighborhood. That's cool. But we love you for who you are now. You don't have to keep pushing that, because that's a negative image. And there's gonna be people out there, whether they're at a mansion, whether they're at the club, or whether they're at the mall, they want to see if you're really with that.
Well, that's a whole other subject.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying,
because the music industry is
in the culture, people group it all together like you're supposed to be held at this high standard, because that's what it is. And really, it's just entertainment. It's just they just talking that mess. A lot of them don't even really live like that. You see them, they don't even really dress like that when they're around their kids and their mama, or just hanging around the house washing clothes. They're not even looking the part. So, of course, they're not playing the part 24 hours a day, so you can't hold them accountable like that. Now, for anybody that I know, and for all those who have ears, let them hear. For any woman out there, if that's what you're going through, tap in with me. Forget the laws, because we deal with stuff on a whole nother level. But I can't see that happening to one of my sisters or my cousins or anybody that I know, because it's like, nah, you got to make it back to Canada. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, that part. And you might not. I'm just saying.
I think that was one of the things that triggered in my mind, though, when I was listening to her say that, how she was protecting him, and I thought about it. I said, I think as Black women, we do that subconsciously. Even when we talk about voting, we get into these voting arenas and we go door to door and we try to get people registered to vote. And our protection, we're out there trying to give rights to our Black men, as well as ourselves, but we're fighting for them a lot. Even when you think about all the unarmed shootings that happen when police officers are killing our young men, we're the first ones on the front line. That's not to say that the Black men are not concerned and that they're not outraged, but we're the ones who stand out and we, fight, in that respect. So I think it's just like a mother bear perspective, but I just thought it was really odd that she would, protect them to that degree, having been shot, and I couldn't understand that. So I just wanted to get different perspectives on at what point is it that you just stop protecting? At what point do we need to start?
When you get shot.
Yeah, that's the another level of disrespect. Like, you that mad, you gonna shoot me?
Yeah, when you get shot, that's the point.
Hey, damn.
I mean, thank God she's still here. You know what I mean?
That was just a weird situation to me. I know we got to wrap it up, but I just wanted to talk about this one last thing before we get up out of here. And that was Tim Norman, because I thought this was just an odd situation. Isn't that something?
I would like to ask, though. I would just, okay, what he did, that's foul and one. That's flagrant. Kick him out the game. My question is, though, how come we not holding these insurance companies accountable, for the loopholes that they have, to where people are just allowed to do this, and they set plays up, and the insurance company knows about it. They know that this person has no knowledge of this insurance policy on their life. Yes, no notification, no nothing. How come the insurance policies are not being held accountable for that? And
wait, you can just get insurance on someone and they not know it?
Man, I've seen a couple cases like that.
Hell no.
So wait a minute. But listen, But because the reason why is because they're going to accept.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. So.
But they know. I believe. I don't know what happened. I know
allegedly,
what we know
right.
as far as exactly. But my thing is, the insurance company probably are the ones that notified the police.
Social Security.
That
Okay.
is
Just to give you the backstory real quick, Tim Norman, I'm sorry. Yeah, he showed his Social Security number. No, he didn't. Okay, so Tim Norman, he was on a reality show called Sweetie Pies from 2011 to 2016 or 2018, and along with his mother Robbie Montgomery, who was a former backup singer for the Ike and Tina Turner, and they had a family restaurant franchise. So part of the show, they had her grandson. 21-year-old, which is Tim's nephew. He was 21 years old. He was gunned down March 2016. Currently, Tim is being charged with conspiring to kill him. He took out an insurance, he took out like 3 or 4 insurance plans on his nephew 2 years prior. And the way I understand it is with the insurance, after 2 years, it's like a grace period, a waiting period. So after the 2 years is up, then if something happens, you can actually, be good on your claim. Keep in mind that he did this. It's said that maybe that the 21-year-old was not aware that he was being insured, which brings it back to what you were saying, GB. How can you do that? How is that legal? And we definitely need an insurance expert on to explain to us, how can somebody, you telling me that somebody can have an insurance coverage?
That's crazy.
And I know they can, my job can. People do insure people, like corporations do insure their employees because they coop some type of whatever residuals out after their death, right?
Record labels.
Yes. So that was definitely a target question to me that kind of was a red flag, is how was he able to even insure him? But keep in mind, he did not receive payout. So at first, when I first read this, he never received payout. But my first question was, oh, you dirty low down, you know what, to do this to him. But now that you didn't receive payout and now this investigation rolled on and now you're tied to it, it's like, dang, it's a cold world out here. For $400 or some $1,000.
Wow,
that's crazy. Like I said, but because we on this platform, we got to say allegedly.
Allegedly, right?
Because y'all know that kid. Y'all know that youngster at the he's a college student actually, and he was at the South Dakota pipeline protest. Y'all remember that? And he was standing and he had that smirk on his face.
I remember that.
The Native American man.
Yeah.
He hit for like 200-something million. He sued like CNN and some other people, but because they kept saying this is what he did, instead of saying allegedly, he was able to sue them. So he had a great mouthpiece in court, and he won.
And that's
he's damn near a billionaire now.
Yeah,
that's the loopholes.
Yeah,
that we don't know
I definitely
about.
Need to know. So we have Julius on Facebook. Thank you for watching. He said at the time the claim is to be paid out, the owner has to prove an insurable interest. If this cannot be established, the policy will not be paid out. So my question to you, Julius, is can anybody insure anybody without their consent?
Please answer that.
Is that legal? Can I just go get insurance on my name?
Why at the point of the payout? Why not ask this question at the beginning? Because you want these monthly payments?
Get them payments like Santa said. Because they paying them. That's it. It's all about the money.
Here's another thing. With the insurance, after a certain amount, you have to go through so many background checks. So at $500,000, now you got to do all kind of background checks and blood and health tests. So that's why people be piecing them out. You can get 200 over here without any questions, 200,000 over here without any questions. And, that's how I think, a lot of people piece out their insurance plan so they don't have to go through all that, paperwork.
Now, for myself, I did have to do a physical. You know what I mean? I did have to do a physical for the amount. But like I know someone personally, and this brother is he wheelchair bound for the rest of his life. Like he had to have both his legs removed. And in his situation, his wife at the time took out a policy on him. He had no knowledge of it. She took out a policy on him and somebody else shot him. And because of the investigation, she was unable to make that claim to cash out because, part of the cash out is dependent on the criminal investigation. They need to, they need to rule out everybody and just suspect or whatever. So she came up as a person of interest and she ended up telling on the shooter. and they got in trouble, but he lost both his legs. You see what I'm saying? Like he got shot like 17 times.
Wow.
17 times and lived?
Yeah. And it's
him.
real. It's really real. And he was like, man, it's crazy because I had no idea about this insurance or nothing. And they allowed her to go through. And the only reason why she got caught up was during the criminal investigation, man. That's scary.
It is.
It's really scary. So I think as a government, they should crack down on that. As a government, they should crack down on that and be like, no, you cannot. You know, you have to have that person there physically to sign on it. Ain't no e-signatures, ain't no nothing.
And thank you, Dennis, for responding, because he did say if you have enough information just to support what you were showing, Jimmy, your social security number, you have enough information on a person, you can do it without their consent. And then once the amounts increase, then there's more scrutiny. So I don't like that. So we need to give a petition and lobby. This is something we could lobby to the insurance, you know, to the legislators. Maybe, I don't know if it has to go that high, to say, hey, that shouldn't be allowed. Why is that legal? What kind of shit is that?
Nobody's legal.
That's scary. You know?
The government is doing it.
It's the money.
The government is doing it. That's why it's legal. Why do you think they ain't moved on it so quickly?
Then it has to shut them down. You're right.
Is an insurance policy of $30,000 a body that dies. Nobody's talking about that.
Wait, say that.
I heard about that. Yeah,
I heard about
that.
Security, watch why I was putting my number up. I ain't put my number. I wanted to show. Your Social Security card is a insurance policy for the government. So why would the government fight for something that they doing? Then they got to stop. Just like gun control. Excuse me, white folk ain't giving up their guns on the Democrat or Republican side. So they not going to fight to get rid of something they want to keep. So this is our problem. We need more people in that government, which might need to be more darker, to say,
flip it.
And more women. More darker and more women.
Definitely. You notice where women govern, there's less COVID too in other countries.
Level the playing field. I vote for every black woman. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just as long as you have a political and not what they say. I don't want you to put revenge on nothing. Just do it politically. And change the playing field so it's even for all. They keep saying all lives matter, but black people still down on the totem pole.
But why? But why'd you have to put that in there about revenge? No, I'm serious, because when it comes to black women, people automatically think that we have like an ulterior motive or something like that.
I'm just saying, see, what is
but
happening
you just said it
more on black women. Kamala's being attacked more by the media than black people themselves. Now, when 2 or 3 black men come out and ask all black men, I ain't said nothing about it. I'm just trying to do case study and history. Because, see, I don't want them to come back later, white people, and say, oh, look, Kamala did this, and y'all let her be vice. They always do that. I'm not doing it, but I see it being done. I was worried about Barack Obama. Okay, what did we not see? Because I want him to hold his seat. I want him to do a great job. You know, it's the first time we had anybody black sitting in the presidency at all. Now we're finna have the first black woman vice president, which is another black person up at that high level again.
But here's what I'm saying. You said that
I got a question too after that.
You would vote for black women as long as like it was a stipulation. But like, would you vote for Elizabeth Warren or like ACL, you know, like other women without a stipulation?
Like I said, the stigma around the women I talk about, and not these candidates. The main focus is men have done it wrong for so long.
Okay.
But these men had a team that did not tell them that they was doing it wrong, to stop doing what they was doing.
Because it was other men.
Everybody, but these men had women they went home to. I know my mother talked a lot to my father about issues at the house. Like I said, I'm well-rounded and see things.
Yeah, your father was different, brother.
When you are a woman and you supporting a man, loving a man, protecting a man, you gonna say something. You don't give a doggone how he feel because you love him. Like Cicely Tyson said, I made him a plate. And everybody tripped out. What you make him a plate for? He can make his own plate. No. I wanted him to know that somebody loved him more than the world, because he got to go out there every day. Black men still have it harder out there trying to work, trying to be out in society than black women.
Brother Jimmy, can I want to add this to that. So you well-rounded, and that's a blessing, man. Because not everybody had that balance, men and women. But I want to say too, like, just as the woman is a reflection of us, we are a reflection of them. So like you said, she spoke to him at home about issues what's going on at home, and he's a reflection of her when he out and about, when he moving and doing what he got to do in public. He's also a reflection of her. And you know what, my wife, she made me aware of this, so I got to do it like this. You see what I'm saying? And that don't make him no less of a man. That just makes him more of a man. You see what I'm saying? Because he's more equipped to deal with realities of life. My question is, I had a political question though, but I'm gonna go ahead.
Go ahead.
I wanted to ask what Kamala Harris. Right. Yeah. That's the Indian side, Kamala.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What power does the vice president have? Because I never started paying attention to anything until 12 years ago when Barack Obama was running. But I never paid attention to the vice president because I was just like, I'm supporting the brother. So what power or influence does a vice president have other than being able to inherit the throne if something happened to the president?
Does she sit over the Senate? If I'm correct, she sits over those Senate hearings. Every vice president sits over the Senate hearings in the chamber with them on a constant basis. That's where the vice president is really sitting and watching, doing things bad. And I found that out really during President Obama's term, because I thought about the same thing, what are you doing? But they're sitting in the Senate hearings overseeing the Senate.
So right now, Kamala is in the Senate, and to our advantage because she represents the Democratic Party, but the vice president cannot vote in the Senate except to break a tie, nor may they formally address the Senate except with the senator's permission. So that was a good question, and I think that's interesting to know because she's taken herself out of a very important seat.
And who's going to fill her seat if she's, Lord willing, she is advancing to VP. So who's going to take her seat, and do we approve of that person?
Yeah.
What y'all think?
We need another Democrat take that seat, because then we leaning on the Electoral College again. If a Republican you get that seat, we took a break.
They didn't make the what is it, the Chronicles?
No Limit.
No Limit Chronicles.
No Limit, yeah. Shout out to Master P, man. He's an entrepreneur.
I wish we
yes, sir.
President Obama's friend, Hill Harper.
Yeah.
And he talked to different age groups in that book. And he had one young lady, she grew up with a black man, and she didn't get in a relationship with him till he had to do certain things. And it was powerful when I was reading. I'm like, wow, he had went to jail, got out of jail. He had to really get himself together. And he listened to her because that was his long-term friend to see it. Where his father wasn't around, family structure wasn't around, he learned a lot from that strong woman. And she finally, he got himself together, he got the doing right. And she was that backbone, that great compliment to him. And he got himself together, and that's why I said I'm kind of well-rounded, because I saw that in my mother. I saw that in her sisters, my aunties, a lot of the cousins.
Yeah.
I've seen it. So I want to piggyback on that I saw examples of that, seeing a black woman just putting her foot down and saying, no, I'm not going to get with you until you get yourself together. So
and I like that too.
Beautiful to me, that makes me do the same thing as you, because we all talk about finances. Sometimes relationships don't last, but finances is messed up, and that's terrible.
Yeah.
I said, a woman can say, well, no, you got to get your money game up, because you ain't gonna be taking all my money and you out here running the streets. No.
But see, I teach my daughter. I teach my daughters money over morals. Excuse me. I've been drinking. I got some whiskey in me right now. I teach my daughters morals over money. That's what it is.
Just to cut in on that about the drinking. I have a first caller. I affectionately call him first caller, who's not on the show today, but listens regularly. He was the first person that called into my first show years back when I started In Your Ear Radio. suggested a while ago that we have an after dark show for In Your Ear Radio because he's a little
I'm with it, and we can cuss, and we don't have to put no money in.
2 steps. You heard what I'm saying? So next Saturday at 7:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that is the schedule. The plan is to have an In Your Ear Radio after dark, but we just let loose on our account.
What we talking about?
Yeah, what we talking about?
Listen, text me whatever y'all want to talk about.
I want to talk about relationships.
Just text me. Let's throw it all in. We'll figure out how long we want to do this because we've been on longer than normal today, and I appreciate y'all. I could do this all day, but I know people's time. I respect people's time, and I know everybody has stuff to do, and our attention spans aren't that long. But this has been great having y'all on this long because normally, I try to wrap it up in an hour just so people can get the goods and go on with their day. And maybe share some information with others. But next Saturday at 7 p.m. Vegas time,
7 o'clock Vegas time,
we're gonna be a little ratchet on In Your Ear Radio. Whatever y'all want to talk about, we're gonna have
Brother Jimmy, Brother Jimmy, you heard that?
Oh,
wait,
you put the Bible out.
We're gonna have time, and so y'all can say what y'all gonna say, but y'all can't be saying it for more than 30 seconds or 45 seconds.
Hey, look, she put restrictions on it already, man. What is that? What is that?
Africa, just dialing back, Africa did mention she wanted to comment on the Tim Norman case, and she said the nephew didn't even know what he was signing. But again, I just want you guys not to forget the fact that people can insure you without your consent, and that needs to be talked about. We need to go to our councilman or our assemblyman or woman or something to petition for that not to be legal.
A person needs to be able to pull up their social. A person needs to be able to put that should be on somebody's credit report.
And see, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Shout out to TT Pam, y'all. She said she's gonna be on that show so she can say whatever she wants.
I'm with you, TT. Listen, ain't gonna be no cuss jars. They be trying to censor me.
No, I would never censor you. I love you. I love you. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. His face lit up when I told him I wanted to do that. But I just want us to get our hair down and chop it up. You know what I'm saying? I think this show was pretty relaxed, but I think it's gonna be interesting to see how it is after dark, even though it's still gonna be sun up at 7 o'clock in Vegas. But I think it's gonna be really fun. Okay,
I'm coming back.
You coming back? Okay.
What's the topic of discussion, though?
Everything. We haven't even put anything together yet. Anything could happen in a week. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know if I can
stay up that late.
Oh, she said she wish her. Y'all better come get you. She going in already. Oh, you better be up.
No, I got you though.
So, just to wrap it up,
put a Bible out on you.
Listen, we can talk about Christianity. We can talk about the Bible. We can talk about whatever. That's what I want to do.
Next season, on my podcast, I'm talking religion. If you guys know of anybody in different religions, I want to talk to a Buddhist. I want to talk to all kinds. So let me know. Let's talk religion.
Julius said some other stuff about insurance. He said that the parents be putting policies on their children and have been found guilty of foul play.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to do a whole show about this insurance stuff too. But we definitely need to petition. I don't see anybody.
We need a petition that is on your credit report. If somebody pulls something out on your social, it should show up on your credit report. That way you know who the fuck trying to kill you.
That makes me wonder how people just coming up dead now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then you should be able to have a sit down with that person and ask them why they have an insurance policy.
Sit down my ass. It's happening. We gonna sit down, all right.
We're gonna stand
up, sit down, tie up, all kind of shit.
I didn't say cameras were involved though. I'm just saying.
We're gonna flex.
What you say, Shanta?
I said, in the meantime, I'm gonna get an insurance policy on someone. I'm not trying to kill anybody, but no, seriously, think about it. So, let's think about parents, deadbeat parents and stuff like that. It's just come on. Now, if you don't do nothing else for your kid, at least when you die, you could at least leave something.
Yeah.
Do something.
Show out at the funeral.
Okay, my question. Hold on. Let me ask you this.
Security to call his number.
I would get a policy. I don't care if it's just $10,000, $15,000. You should leave your kids. They should be responsible for something.
You can answer. Look, you can answer offline, right? But the question is, are you gonna make him aware of that?
Nah.
Don't answer right now. Don't answer right now, because anything you say can and will be used against you.
You don't have to. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
It need to be on people's credit.
Follow the law.
Yeah,
I like that, Trish.
Yeah.
I like that.
no, I'm with that. I'm with that. I'm with that. I think
Yeah.
it's good.
Following the law, so you ain't gotta let them know. You ain't gotta let them know.
Yeah.
You just
You know,
watch them like you finna go right
whatever
now.
is
You finna
legal,
go. Look,
I have to do.
No, we can't do whatever is legal because there's some laws that's fucked up.
It is. It's some terrible
Yeah.
laws.
The anti-lynching law hasn't even been passed.
Nope.
Yeah, because Mitch McConnell won't.
It's like
bring
state by state.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he also won't bring before the Senate, the unemployment and the CARES Act that's going on right now, how they're trying to, bring that back so that people can get some type of some money. He lets people go on vacation right now and enjoy they good health insurance and they income, while other people are still trying to figure out which Peter they gonna rob to pay Paul.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what's going on.
They need to rob Judas.
Judas, yeah, rob him. Yeah. Speaking of that, Julius, because he's on Facebook saying that the Gerber has a
No, excuse me, not the brother Julius.
I know you say Julius.
Yeah. What you been drinking? That's what you been drinking?
He said that the 2-year questioning that Gerber whole life policy on them, they have a 2-year questioning on the parents. Somebody sent me one. There's some weird stuff going on around here. I don't have no babies, but you sent me Gerber life insurance.
Oh man.
Listen, it's a lot going on. But let me tell y'all this. I have fun with y'all. Go ahead, Shanta.
What you
get? I just said I'm getting. I don't care what y'all say.
Think about that though. For people that have, have deadbeat parents, this goes both ways, mom or dad. Streets anyway.
Allegedly. I got allegedly.
You gotta put your quotes in there. Put your quotes in there.
Repo, man. Y'all gonna put a repo.
Listen, that insurance comes in handy when you have kids. So listen.
You getting your sick on your deathbed, you be around the bed like the Grim Reaper. Oh yeah, he gonna get you, but I'm gonna get that money. So.
We're gonna holler at you, yeah. We're gonna see you.
Hilarious. All right, y'all, we're gonna wrap it up. But what you got to say, Trish, before we wrap it up right quick?
I miss you, and it was great being on the show today. I can't wait for After Dark. I don't want to know. Yep, it's happening. It's going down.
It's gonna be fun. All right, Jimmy. 15 seconds.
Man, always enjoy it. Always enjoy it. You know I enjoy it. I come with all my costume outfits. Oh, wait till next week.
Yeah. Hey, hold on. Let's see your medallion, man. Hey, let's show us your medallion before you close out.
Oh, that's right. Oh, hold on.
We can't see it.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, what is that? What is that, bro?
Yes. I'm gonna give one to Kamala. No, I'm saying.
All right, Shanta. Listen, he got plenty laughs for you. You got me cracking up.
Send me that link again. Hey, shout that link out online, please.
Okay, Shanta, what you gonna say before we get up out of here?
Nothing, just peace and blessings and be safe.
That's right.
And let it go. Don't worry about the stuff you can't control.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, GB, what you want to say before we get up out of here?
First, I need that link to Brother Jimmy's medallion.
Yeah, that look like that was hand carved.
I gotta go look for it. My mind on layaway, and I'm catching up with the payment.
All right. What I was gonna say? Oh, wait a minute. I'm hanging out like wet clothes. What y'all got to do?
Listen, we can do nothing.
You act like they charge you about a minute or something. Your Wi-Fi ain't free over there?
Yeah, we good. I'm just thinking of other people. I'm respecting other people's time.
I'm like you, GB. I ain't got nothing to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Julie's supposed to discuss religion. I think when we put that together, I want to have pastors on. I want to have them diehard religious men and women on. I want to have the kids on. I want everybody on because I got my point of view, and I definitely want to have a discussion.
I would love
to have different points of views as well.
Yeah, that's a sensitive subject too.
Because I'm not religious, I'm spiritual.
Yeah. Run that concurrent.
We talked about the Nas album in the beginning. Jamar, shout out to Jamar in Colorado.
Mark Matt.
I haven't listened to it yet. Have you?
I haven't. I like Nas though.
I like the title Ultra Black. I love that.
Who was that?
Listen, it's dope. So he got a song Ultra Black, and it says Ultra Black, not like what's her name, Doja Cat.
Doja Cat.
He was saying some negative stuff about black people. So now Homegirl got a song talking about, it's called Nas. What's her name? Jess Hilarious had me laughing. She said, but it's abbreviated. The song is titled. She didn't say what the title was, but she said if you abbreviate it, it's called Nas, N-A-S. So Jess Hilarious, a comedian, said what that stand for. The N-word ain't shit. That had me laughing though. You know.
And that's for After Dark, right? That's for After Dark.
That's for After Dark. So we got a lot. Listen, After Dark.
I'm gonna program that in my phone. Hold on.
7:00 next week, right? After Dark, next Saturday.
You put with your what?
My music going
on the 29th.
That's the 29th.
That's the 29th.
It is the 29th. Yeah.
I don't keep up with the days no more. I just show up. Show up. I wake up. I'm here. What?
We have a birthday show in September. You know what it is.
When your birthday?
16th September.
Oh, that's my little brother's birthday too.
Yeah.
My youngest brother. Yeah.
I mean, with the new Zodiac
that's what's up.
sign, I'm a Leo / Virgo now.
Wait a minute. Wait. They moved the cusp or what? What happened?
They said December ain't Sagittarius. It's another sign which pushed everything up. And they go into the 16th of September, which makes me a Virgo Leo. I'm saying,
I tell you what.
Leo, and in the afternoon.
No, Virgo Libra more.
Bro, I tell you.
I'm like, what y'all doing?
I'll tell you what, bro. The stars always in line for the Gemini, bro.
Is that right?
That's what it is. Look at Trish. Look.
You almost made me spit my drink out. You know y'all motherfuckers is special.
Wait a minute. Wait. Time out. There's a flag on the play. Cash interference.
What?
Trish, did you not say that you didn't even know I was a Gemini? Now how that's gonna fall off your face?
I did not know. You do not fit the criteria. You don't fit the you don't fit the criteria. Not as far as I know. You haven't. Our interactions have nothing Gemini has been about that. Y'all different.
I've been through a lot of self-help and a lot of meditating, praying, and I just bought me some sage. I've been burning sage.
Look at God. Look at God.
For real.
God damn. I'm trying to get to my Cadillacs. I mean, over there.
Yeah, I've been burning sage and everything, man. Trying to get it right, trying to get it tuned up.
Definitely, I definitely want to talk about CCSD and how they're not catering to special needs children. We definitely need to get on that. Let me know. People have to get that rolling out. That's important.
You said PTSD?
I'm watching on Facebook. That was one of the comments.
That's PT Pam, brother Jimmy. You can't wait to meet her.
Which one though? Post-traumatic.
She going in again.
Wait a minute, TT Pam.
He said Geminis are effing crazy.
That part. CCSD.
She said they bipolar assholes.
Your Honor, I would like to strike that off the record.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Listen, we'll talk about y'all after dark.
Yeah, what is that?
It's going down.
It's astrology.
Yeah. So y'all can.
Let's talk about astrology. Let's talk about astrology.
I like long walks.
Hey, cause they say Scorpios.
Scorpios
ain't you married to one?
Hey, they say they do this with the truth.
What? I'm a Scorpitarius.
Male, female.
See what I'm saying? They changing these signs.
I never had a
problem. Be a vitiligo. They gonna change Virgo.
The people I interact with, though, I'm gonna be real like this. The people I interact with, man, y'all been solid since day one, so I don't get into the astrology like that because y'all kept it real with me. I don't care who y'all lie to. Y'all kept it real with me.
I don't lie to anybody. I am brutally honest. When I tell you I'm brutally honest, I am brutal. I'm gonna tell you the truth. You don't ask me. Don't ask me some shit if you don't want to know the answer.
I tell people all the time, I'd rather deal with the ugly truth than a pretty lie.
That's right.
So Libras are diplomatic. I'm gonna tell the truth too, but I'm gonna rub you out. I'm gonna talk to you real smooth.
No, I'm coming at you right in the neck.
Hey, my brother Mark Max say I'll be too political now. I'm like too politically correct every time I answer a question.
I will agree with
he has to keep in mind that a lot of times it's either through text messages or by phone. Now, face to face, you know, we can get into stuff, but I ain't gonna leave no transcript of nothing.
Yeah.
No, he always take the high road. That's what Jamar is saying. You always take the high road.
Yeah.
You be ready to go in. You try to talk us off the ledge.
When they go low, you go higher. Yeah, when they go low, I just let them know that I could go low too.
Or you put that Mayweather on them. Put that Mayweather shoulder on them. Like,
with my apple bottom jeans on. You heard me?
That's how God made me.
Yeah. So So this is just a snippet of In Your Ear After Dark next Saturday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
We didn't even get good.
Oh Lord, I'm not worried. We got so much to talk about and laugh about, and we all in the house. We need to just vent and just have a good time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring my other half to After Dark.
I miss my drinking partners, man. So everybody show up and show out.
Yeah.
And come as you are. We're gonna congregate without the collection plate. You feel me?
Yeah.
No collection plate.
No jar.
Look, Mike.
We have to drive by. We still in the phase 2, man. We got to drive by and talk. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Well, I'm excited.
SO? I keep yelling SO name. Where's SO?
Invite him. Invite SO tomorrow or next week.
SO. Oh, you know he gonna act up.
we need the board, man. He be on them boards, man.
Yeah, with the sound effects and stuff, huh? He be on time too.
I wonder, can we? Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, this will be our premiere show. Thanks to our day one first caller who recommended this, and I'm feeling like we need to do this now more than ever for In Your Ear Radio because we just need to let loose and hear what we all thinking. It's therapy, you know. All of us can't afford therapy, so this what I'm gonna do for y'all.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, man. My friends is my family for real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true story.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
it's been real, y'all.
I appreciate y'all letting me come in.
Yeah, I love y'all.
Thank you all that watched on Facebook Live and YouTube. Thank you for rolling with us. I hope you enjoyed the show. We talked about a lot. You might have to go back if you just tuned in because we did do a little politics. I don't know why he's doing fake sign language. But
shout out to All Money In.
Yeah. The medallion.
Hold on, wait a minute. He never said what the medallion meant though.
What does it mean?
Jiname. No one above God. Jiname.
Okay, I like. Well, listen. Let me show real quick before we get out of here. Let me ask y'all something. Y'all know I'm pro-black as fuck, right?
Yeah.
Pro-black. I'm with the Black Lives Matter movement, all that. So here's the shirt I'm wearing today. You know I like to wear shirts, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the shirt I'm wearing today.
What is it? What it say?
Do you see it?
Oh,
Savage, Classy. What else it say?
Oh, the Golden Girls.
This is the Golden Girls.
Savage, Classy, and who?
Ratchet.
Oh, Bougie and Ratchet.
So here's my question. Somebody in my household told me that I was a hypocrite for wearing this shirt. And I don't think so. Like, what? Do y'all think so?
Listen, I'm going to say this. I'm real sensitive when it comes to words. I don't really like to be called a diva. And I don't like to be called savage. Like, I'm not savage.
But I'm talking about this shirt. Do you think that I am a hypocrite for wearing this shirt?
If you're not a savage or if you're not classy.
No, it's because it's the Golden Girls.
Oh,
we used to watch it. Look, how many white shows?
Because of the race? Is that what you mean?
Somebody called me a hypocrite because I have this shirt with all these white women on it.
Nah.
See, because they don't
you can't have no white friends. That's why you can't have no white friends.
Disliking white people. It's about you disliking the things white people have done. And that speaks to those, not all. You know, they know who they are. So I don't think that at all.
And then personally, that woman on the bottom left, I think her name Blanche or something like that, right? That she remind me of my TT doll all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Golden Girls.
She gonna cut you out in different languages and all kinds of
Everything,
stuff.
yes.
I love the Golden Girls. So
Yeah.
You know, black people can't be racist anyway. So whoever told you that, just tell them black people can't be racist.
thank you for letting me for answering that. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So Jamar wants to talk about his Ratchet, the new hood rat. Next Saturday at 7 p.m. in your ear radio.
I like how she keeps working that. That's good. That's good marketing. That's good marketing right there.
I think I'm gonna just sit back and just
Come
drink.
up with a flyer and make sure you put out the flyer so people
Okay.
tune in.
Wait, okay, time out again. Time out. Trish, when you took a pause, I seen your logo sitting there. Like I was like, wow.
What?
It was like inertia. It was inertia. It was just sitting there.
What
I was
logo?
like, man, she got her logo sitting there. When she took a pause, the pieces of she was all in your.
Let me see. Do it again. Oh, I know. You got to show me how to do that.
I will.
I wouldn't be pausing on my show, but it's good to have in case I do have technical difficulties, huh?
Yeah.
Because y'all just be seeing a black screen.
That's good.
I'll show you. I'll show you where it is.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Hey, brother Jimmy, when you get a chance, bro, send me that that link, man, because I need to touch my game up. Give me a ladder, step my game up.
I'm out of wine.
Okay.
Hey, what's that? Sangria, Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid.
Sangria, you know me.
Her drink and her 2-step.
My drink is gone, so I'm out.
Yeah, look. if my cup is empty, I'm on full. Says my brother. All right, y'all. I'm looking forward to next Saturday, 7 p.m. after dark in your ear radio. Love y'all. Bye-bye.